Is this live? Yeah, that's live. Cool. So we're gonna be creating some puzzles together today. If OBS will allow me, and the CPU usage will go a bit lower because it's like about 10%, 11%. Yeah. So what do I have here? So um, I have a version of Quirk opened up here. Let me see if I go to Quirky Dojo. I should have it in Quirky Dojo actually. I don't know why it's in Quirky Playground, but I started there simply, and I have to move it. So what am I doing? Git status. So basically, I should probably actually commit the changes from yesterday. So I fixed a bug with the gate set for the dojo with the dojo gate set. I'll try to explain what I'm doing basically. So this is basically, I wanted to kind of close season 1 of the Turn the Cubits Off series by showing you guys something that I've been working on, which is a bit of an extension to Quirk that allows me to create the puzzles in a relatively easy way. And I hope that by making these available right now, others can create gates as well. And I wanted to kind of show you what's the process behind the scenes in terms of how do I usually create such puzzles. Sorry. Where am I now? Actually, what am I doing? I've got these. I wanted to show you maybe a local version first. So should I just npm run this thing? And I think that goes to basically here. So can I just copy the path, and then I'll open up another Chrome tab so I can show you guys basically what this looks like. So this looks like just Quirk for now. But it has this little thing here called Dojo Config. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to create a puzzle in a similar way that I do with the Turn the Cubits Off video. So maybe can walk through through an example of how I would usually create such puzzles, and then maybe let me just actually, if this is done, can I not just copy these into? So I'm gonna actually copy this file in my web page. So and the puzzles, paste. But I'll call these rename. So I'll call these what? Name that. So I'll call this basically the dojo or the puzzle creator. Puzzle creator or something like this. Is this? Wait a second. I don't know if I should. I think I hard coded the. I think I hard coded the URL that this thing is telling you. So let me actually go back to I think it was in Dojo.js. Yeah, that's really bad. Like the way that I did it is actually not the best, but is it just where did I put the URL? Oh no, it actually, okay, so it actually gets whatever is in there, so it should work. Okay, so let me go back to the web page and I'll just, I think this is these, so let's just rename this to puzzle creator, so that should work. And then if I go and, I had already built it before, so so that doesn't matter if it's not finishing yet. Why does this just eat up 20% of my CPU? Okay, so if I go back to the web page, okay, it's just the GitHub pages, so I'm just gonna add these, and I just want to try whether it works right away in the web page. So v0 of puzzle creator. I'm not so sure if this is gonna work though. Let's push it and see. So what am I? YouTube is not receiving another video. I'm just sick of these errors, this streaming stuff. I have like I think, I don't know what is it. Like, is it my internet connection? OBS is like 22%, CPU, whatever. I gotta get better internet connection. So so this is up, and then if I just go here and check quantum intuition, no, sorry, uncertain systems, and we'll just go to puzzles and puzzle creator. Yeah, it seems to work. Okay, so let's try it live actually. So this is really just live on the webpage right now. You can go ahead and go check it out. I'll put it in the chat. So what this allows you to create puzzles in a similar way that I do for the turn the qubits off video, right? So basically, for example, I would just, I don't know, let's make a random puzzle, okay? So I'm gonna create a random. I'm just gonna add some gates in here, right? And I'm gonna try to black box these the way that like you usually see. So I kind of go and make a gate, right? Like I use the from circuit column, the from circuit part here to create a gate. I usually go to the Emojipedia random, just get a random emoji. The Nigeria flag. I don't know. Let's get another one. I don't want a flag in not Nigeria, but random. So, the polar bear. Okay, cool. So I basically, copy this here, create the gate. I have the little gate here. Okay, so now I'm basically, that's the puzzle, right? Like, let's imagine that's the puzzle, and I want you guys to be able to uncompute these or to kind of turn the qubits off, right? One is off already, so really bad. But or maybe I can even give it actually some initial values to make it more complicated. So let's assume that this is the idea, and now how do I turn this into an actual puzzle that I can share, right? So if I go to the Dojo config here, it opens up this thing, which is from a UI perspective, it's quirky, right? But it's in line with everything else you'll find in here. If you go to the export, like that's the whole thing. I'm not gonna make it look better anyhow, but the idea is you can here kind of configure the puzzle, right? So first, you've got like a bunch of checkboxes that allow you to configure what the user is going to see when they get the puzzle in the first place. So the first checkbox, the Dojo mode enabled, you got to check it in, because if it's not checked, like they're not going to even see like they're not going to be in puzzle mode. I don't know. I probably should set that as a tick by default, but whatever. I'm currently that's the way it is. So then you can kind of show the initial state. Like, do you want to see the initial state, right? Like this is do you want the user or the player to see what's your initial state and to be able to change it? You can say that I'm going to leave it as I don't want to show it. Show the wire probability, show the block sphere, and show the output superposition. These three checkboxes kind of allow you to control whether you want to see those things in here. Now, I usually hide them all or just show some of them because, I mean, these are just fixed there and they give you sometimes too much information. But like usually the chance displays, I'll leave them there because the goal is to turn them off. So I'd say show the wire probabilities, but don't show the initial the blocks here, and don't show the output superposition. And of course, you can disable or not disable the custom gates. What this does is gonna disable these boxes in here, because the problem with these types of puzzles is that, or of quirk, is that if you hover your mouse, you actually can see the circuit details in there, unless you make the circuit like the gate with a matrix or something. But I usually do it this way, so I want to usually hide this so people don't don't play with it. So now I kind of hide it, and then you can basically go ahead and pick what gates do you you want the player to have available. So this is the whole list of gates that you can see here as well. And I'm gonna say, well, what do we have here? A Hadamard, a NES gate, and a Y gate. So I'm gonna maybe just I don't know. I'll kind of allow the user to have, for example, the Z, the Y, the X, and the Hadamard. Like usually don't want to give the chances of using the swap gate, just because people can just swap qubits, and then sometimes it's easier to just turn some of them off if the puzzle is not about turning all the qubits off. Maybe, I don't know, but that's kind of like the one that it's easy to cheat with. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll enable some those as well, right? So I made it this way because usually you have less gates available rather than more gates available. So I know it's a hassle if you want to have all of them available. Actually, I didn't think about this. Yeah, I should probably have a checkbox that says, have them all available. I'll improve this, okay? I'll improve the interface or the usability a little bit, but that's the kind of, you get the idea, right? So you have these, and then you kind of click on generate link, and that basically generates a link that's up here. You can just copy to the clipboard. And what I'd recommend always is just to test it, use a clean tab. For some reason, if I refresh stuff, it doesn't always work well, and you kind of have to refresh. So this is basically what you get, right? So it's what you set up. So we don't see the initial state. We have our secret gate in here. We don't have the custom gate, so we can't really cheat and check the inside of the box. And then you have these gates that we marked as available, right? If you don't like, you can, this is just everything encoded in the link, okay? So it's not about, this is not like, anyway, I don't know, like we're not playing for money or something. So this is, the user could really the player could just really go in here and decode that and kind of see what's really inside the circuit. You can obfuscate these by creating dummy, like one of the things that I sometimes do is, okay, that does actually has changed the, for some reason is actually hidden. Yeah, I think it's a bit buggy still, but like if you get this issue, why have the gates disappeared here? I don't know. It's somehow enabled. I don't want this to be enabled. Oh, there you go. You can always play with this. If it gets enabled, oh no, you want it enabled, because if it's not enabled, it disables the button as well. Sorry for that. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I have to fix, definitely, but it's usable, or it's almost usable. So, so basically, what you can always do here is, what I was going to say, I don't know what I was going to say. Yeah, if you didn't like it, you can go and change the stuff. It's just everything in the URL, okay? So it's not like a, I don't know, it's really not super fancy or whatever. You can't really just, I don't know, mess up a lot. It's everything in the URL. And to be honest, it's just an extra, it's an extra thing, an extra object called Dojo that's got all this stuff in here encoded. So you can also just, tweak the URL directly. But it's got a gate set in here. Oh yeah, I wanted to explain how do I usually obfuscate the puzzle if I don't want people to really be easily able to just dig into the URL. You can create a bunch of dummy custom gates, right? Like if I can make a gate and then I can make a gate out of these, right? Like you can just make a lot of gates like that, which basically they are just being appended in the URL, so they just make it more complicated for someone to just basically, take a look at the URL and figure out what the circuit is. But I mean, come on, like we're not here. I don't know. It's just this is really for learning. What's the point in cheating in this kind of games? That's not fancy anyway. But yeah, so you can basically, that's kind of what you can do with it. I, to be honest, I haven't so I'm kind of currently working on these, right? Like I've got different puzzles which are supposed to be a little bit more educational, not just like random. So for this season one of Turn the Qubits Off, it all started with random puzzles, to be honest. It was really like me creating some of these random things, like random boxes, and then asking someone to turn the qubits off. But I realized you can do things which are a bit more educational, and so I really would like to see someone grab these and maybe do something educational. That would be interesting. So for example, if I take a look at the um, system level thinking, maybe, right? I think those were nice. So if you go here, you're basically, you end up in this puzzle, which basically it asks you to turn. What was the goal here? Turn the system to the state with all zeros only by placing gates in between the speakers, right? So you have these two speaker gates and you don't know what they do, but like all you got to do is you got to turn all these to zero, so it's got to be in here, and you only have these gates available. So the I think this puzzle really allows you to understand and to play around with what these different gates do at the system level, right? And that's the beauty of Quirk, is that it's extremely flexible. So you can really, what you could do is like you can say, you know what, like I don't want to show any of the displays, right? I don't want to show any of the displays. I'm gonna make up, like, I don't know, for example, let's say I'm gonna make a puzzle and I want people to, I don't know, the goal is to get a specific shape for this density matrix. I just whatever, I just made it up, right? So you can do that. I mean, you just enable the dojo mode, disable the custom gates, don't touch any here, any of these, like leave everything disabled, and then choose whatever gates you want to have, right? And I promise I'm gonna keep improving these. It's gonna take a while because I don't have much time right now, but in a bit I'm gonna have more time, so this is gonna be easier. And there you go. Generate the link, and basically you have a puzzle where there's no displays anywhere. It's just what you've given in here, right? So this is your only display, and you kind of it's totally flexible. You can make up your own goals. You can make up your own ideas, and I think it's to be honest, this is helping me much more to understand and to learn about quantum computing, like doing the actual puzzles. For example, I'm right now working on both level 5 and level 6, and so I think level 6 I'm already quite sure I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing something around the strength of entanglement, right? So I want to make puzzles that allow people to understand the nuances of things like, for example, you've got these states, right? And then we're going to create entanglement. So we're going to create like a bell pair, the typical one here, right? And this is, sorry, that will be this, right? So this is the bell pair. It's maximally, it has a maximum entanglement because the dot here of each block sphere is at the center. Now, like, I don't know, maybe a puzzle would be, how do you get them to be like half entangled, right? And so if you, for example, if you play with the rotations, was it these here? No, what was the Z rotation? Was it no? Yeah, exactly. This is where you see. So when you place this gate here, you can see the strength of the entanglement is changing. So basically, for example, if you place a no, sorry, there's already a Y half gate in here. So sorry, square root of, oh no, quarter. Oh, come on. I should probably use my pen, but I have it unplugged actually. Whatever. So these maybe doesn't take you half the way, but like it's not Maybe it's like 1/8 or something. Can I just do like something like that? Yeah. You can play with these, but like I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to basically you know, try to make people think a little bit more about entanglement other than just like what's, you know, typically explained there. So I think these puzzles are really powerful, and I just wanted to share these, to be honest. It's I just actually uploaded it. It's there for everyone to use and to play with. I'm gonna definitely going to be improving these. It's called, I put it in the chat. It's uncertainsystems.com/puzzles/puzzle creator, and then you get to the editor, and it's just Quirk. But it's got this Dojo config in here. So the idea is you can make you know, make a circuit, make a puzzle, and then you configure the puzzle and get a URL that you can share that it's going to be in puzzle mode. Okay, so you know, pay attention. The idea here is that, or maybe, you know, just other ideas, right? Like what you could do is you could as well, for example, take some of these ready algorithms, like I did in some of the cases, and I don't know, reversible addition, right? Let's see, and you know, take that as a base, right? Like try to understand these and try to maybe, you know, remove some of these boxes, try to make a puzzle out of these. Actually, a better example is one that I've recently been playing with, which is super dense coding, right? So, for example, here we've got super dense coding, and one of the things that I have been playing with is a concept where, you know, I would go ahead and make not just a swap, but like mess up with a swap, right? Like add some gates in here, do something like these that make this maybe not work ideally, even maybe like a dynamic one, right? So you see that that's not working well, and so what you could think of is you could think of making a gate that is basically no, it's just basically 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it'll be 9, 12. I'm just trying to get like, I'm getting exactly, that's 12 to like 14 or so, exactly. And then I just want the rows 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 to 6. And I'm going to be calling these what? And basically that is now my, like a faulty sending gate, like, you know, so I can go ahead and replace these. And basically I've got a puzzle already, right? So you've got something where you can tell people, hey, this is the you know, this is the part that sends stuff. There's obviously something going wrong in here. Please go and fix it, right? Like they won't know how you've modified these, because you will go here and say, well, Dojo mode enabled. I want to see only the wire. I don't want to see anything, because at the end of the day, everything you care about is just the target message. So you don't want to see, you know, you don't want to reveal the system state maybe. I'm going to generate the link, copy the link. There you go. And boom, works. So you have this here. Oh, look at these. If you don't mark, yeah, okay. If you don't mark anything, like if you don't, what was that here? If I don't select any gates, they're all available. That's not bad. But what I want to do is I want to have quick checkboxes here that check the whole, like, entire columns, because, for example, I don't want to allow displays, right? Maybe I don't want people to be able to kind of take a look into the stuff, or I just might say I want to just really reduce to like the quarter turns into the 8 turns, because I think you should be able to solve this puzzle just with those. Okay, no, you will not be able to. Maybe you will. No, you will not, because you need to neutralize the time ones. So you need to at least allow for these. I mean, you know, be a bit thoughtful in terms of what gates you really need, and try to always make it as minimal as possible, because it makes it's more fun. But don't try not to block the user completely. So generate the link, copy to the clipboard, and let's give it another try. Yeah, here you go. So now you've got only these gates available, right? And so you kind of have to figure out how to fix these. Why is it that this is not being replicated at the decoding end? So and yeah, that's basically what I wanted to share, I think, today. To be honest, so um, I'll be taking a break from the puzzle shows, from the turn the qubits off. I'm gonna make season 2 for sure, but I want to make sure season 2 is a bit more meaningful. So if you guys have any feedback, let me know. If there's any comments or any things that you like, you didn't like, any people that you want to see in the show, let me know. I do have some people lined up already for season 2, so don't worry for these. You're not going to be left alone. And I'm gonna be hopefully. Oh yeah, if anyone creates cool puzzles and they want, and maybe you guys want me to feature them in the web page here, like I can make a community section actually. Um, maybe I can make, I could definitely make a community section. So I would just make like a, let's get maybe the index one, right, and just copy. Can I just copy that? Copy. Paste, rename, call it community or something. And so I'm thinking that that could be an interesting thing to do. So so I'll basically go and say, welcome to the community page. I'll be listing some cool, puzzles created by other people, and maybe sharing some other cool stuff in here as well. If you want any of your work featured here, just get in touch. You know how to get in touch, right? So I'll just commit these. Community page added. I gotta add I gotta add some sort of menu there, but I don't know how to do this. I definitely gotta add some kind of menu because this page is not linked now anywhere. So is it pushed already? Is this working? Might take a while though. No. Did I call it community? Yeah. I think it takes GitHub a little bit to build this. Community with 2 M's. Yeah, that's about right. Maybe if I give it the no, that works. Should work without as well though, shouldn't it? Well, maybe it doesn't. Whatever. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? No. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I have to link it somewhere here. I don't know how the template works, but I'll be putting here maybe sort of in the same fashion like I did that. If you guys have any puzzles and you want me to share puzzles, let me know. I'll put them in there. And cool. I mean, you can go crazy, right? Like this is a great puzzle. The one that I got correct to play, where it's like you got to fix broken Grover's algorithm. It's actually a pretty complicated one, I have to say, and I'm really amazed how Craig solved it. Yeah, that's basically it. Other than that, I'm really happy of how things are going. I don't know if you guys are enjoying the content in the channel. I'm going to try to kind of I feel I've been spreading myself too thin recently with different videos and other topics. I really want to kind of go back to like a more pure exploration mode at some point. And I'm going to be doing some of these in the next weeks, in the next days as well, definitely. But it's been definitely a lot of fun, especially the puzzle stuff. And it's like now at least I can create puzzles in a way that is much more comfortable, and it just works right out of the box like that. So it's not perfect, but it really follows. I think it follows Quirk's look and feel quite closely, which I like it. I like the way this looks like. It's just quirky. And um, next, I'm definitely going to be working on some other stuff in here that I'll show later. I'm not going to be probably putting this in the channel because I really want to keep the content of the channel as like more purely quantum exploration stuff. But I'll be attempting to build. Oh, that's my local. That's a local copy. Why am I even showing you guys this? So, oh crap! There's an interference map. Sorry, that shouldn't be here. This is not a real display. It's right now. It's just a. It's a density matrix, and it's not what I want it to be. I'm trying to build an interference display so I can show in sort of the circuit like at a given point in time without interference, without the interference effects. So we'll see how that goes. So these and a bunch of other things as well. So you can kind of I'm thinking about adding like random gates where like not random gates but gates that randomly happen. So for example, what I want to do is I want to add a gate like I want to add the notion of like an error gate, like so you kind of set a gate like imagine it's whatever gate in here, right? Like and you would configure it and say I want this gate to be like 10% chances, 10% of this being the identity, so nothing, 20% of these being an X gate, and 70% of these being like a square root of Y gate or something. So you kind of specify the gate as, being something randomly, and then, I mean, not even randomly. Yeah, it probably should be it probably should be like an animated gate, where over time it just does weird stuff like these. Yeah, that could be interesting. The reason I'm doing this is I wanna do it so that I can add a bit of a bit of pepper to the puzzles, a bit of like an additional component where like I don't know I maybe can simulate some sort of errors happening in some of the wires or something like this. Error simulation would be awesome in Quirk actually. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the short live stream, and yeah, I'm hoping to see people use these. I mean, if not, it's fine. It works for me. I just wanted to share it. And the code is available in GitHub, of course. And it's in my playground repo. I'm going to be changing these to the yeah, so it's in the Quirky Playground. This is the place exactly. What? Security vulnerabilities? No. Okay, yeah, it's missing test, and there's a bunch of stuff that's missing. This is really still like, I just wanted to get it out there, guys. Don't take it too seriously. I'll be polishing some of the corners here and there. I'm just showing you this because if you'd like to change the locker icon, that's something that's at the code level. So you can't configure this right now. But yeah, and also I'm a bunch of things where I'm not super happy with, like because once you're in this mode, I still leave the Dojo Config button showing, which kind of has this weird effect that if you want to create a puzzle, like you're not going to be able to because basically the gate set that you get like has the lockers in here. That's not what you want. So always, for this to work for now, if you want to create your own puzzles, start always from scratch with a clean slate. Like just go to Insert Systems /puzzles /puzzle creator and that will basically take you to something that looks like Quirk, but it has this Dojo config in here, and so you can, if there's anyone who's joining in now, you can create your puzzle, configure the stuff in here, and then share the link. and that's it. You get a nice puzzle. So cool. I think that's it, to be honest. So what else I wanted to, or is there anything? I mean, if any guy, and there's just like a couple of people watching. So, but if there's, if you've got any questions, sort them in the chat. If not, I'll just go and take a good sleep, I think, because it's not that early here. But it's fun. I mean, what else I could do with these? There's so much that, like, so for now, the way that I'm creating puzzles is really just like, as I said, like I have something in mind, right? And I would kind of prepare this circuit, like, maybe let's go and create one. Like, I don't know, let's create one puzzle. Why not? Like, what time is it? Like, okay, it's 35 minutes in stream, so it's not a big deal. Let's go and think about, like, what would level 6 look like? So one puzzle that I have in mind is, as I said, like, I want to play with the idea of, or maybe, let me see, I can maybe plug my pen and get to work in a way that it's nicer. Yeah, now the pen works. That's cool. Okay, so let's see how would I imagine the entanglement puzzles looking like, right? So I want people to understand. I want the player to have to think a bit harder about entanglement and what it means. What can you do with entanglement? Like, I don't want like, I think we shouldn't have the basics of, like, hey, create a bail pair, or hey, like, I mean, that can be puzzle number one. Like, it can be, also not, it's not also something, I think it's going to be much more fun if the puzzles are a bit like, turn the qubits off, right? But the qubits will be entangled. And so I'm going to allow you to see the type of entanglement, maybe. For example, we do something like this, but that's going to be a black box, right? And that's maximally entangled. And now I'll say, okay, maybe that'll be the first puzzle. Turn the qubits off, right? And the gates that should be only available, probably, because you can do these. The nice thing is that, like, if I allow you to use control gates, it's fairly easy, because you can try to uncompute these, so you can play with these and say, look at these, I've already disentangled that, and then, like, let's assume this is the black box, okay? So let's let's go and create make a gate and call it, like, let's go to the so how do we want to call it? We want to call it, like, let's get a random person with veil. That looks like that's literally the way that it works. I don't put any thinking into what I'm using in there. So so let's see this. Let's imagine this is the black box, okay? So we know here what it does, and there is a way you can disentangle these by placing, like, this gate, not this gate, but like a particular gate. Was it Y rotations, Z rotations? I think it's gonna have to be. Oh, look at this. That does the trick. Okay, it's maybe too easy though. Like, I don't want the puzzle to be too easy, but as a first puzzle, that could work. Why does a Y gate work? So Y gate does basically these. This is what I want. The X gate won't do what I want. Why? It won't do what I want. That also won't do what I want. Let me just go back. So it's a Control Z. And so the truth is that in here, you've got, like, so if this is in the plus state or in the minus state, Is that's the minus? Okay, that's minus. That's I always struggle to understand which are the right controls for these. So, but if I do it this way, so you can see that. But what's the logic behind the Y gate being the one that actually works? Okay, because the Y gate at some point, the Y gate will take you to, so if you're in the plus state, if you're in the plus state, of course, the Y gate will take you at some point like 0 or 1. So if you do these, or you do the, no, how do I do the, yeah, exactly these. So this takes you to 0, and then it basically removes the entanglement because this gate doesn't do anything else in here. And so everything in between makes it like, yeah. So that you know, that could be the first one. It's fairly simple. It wouldn't take someone like too long. And so the way that I would do this is I have this here ready, and the goal is to turn the qubits off. And I said that I can do this with this gate, right? And then once I'm here, I just need to be able, to be honest, once this is done, like, then you just need these, right? And you're done. Yeah. So I think actually you can only I think only this gate would be doable. Yeah, it's doable only with this gate. Now, the thing is, what you have to think about is, like, do you want it, like, if you only make this gate available, you're going to obviously make it too easy. So you want the user to be able to, the player to be able to make mistakes, so they kind of think about, okay, why doesn't this work? So my intuition tells me that I should probably allow for the quarter turns and the 8 turns, because that's not going to do anything to it. That's not... yeah, the Y, the Y does things. This doesn't do anything, and the Z, yeah, exactly. So I think if we leave the quarter turns and the 8th turns, it's enough. And then what I want to do is I want to hide the, I think I want to hide the chance displays, and I want to hide the, and I want to hide these because I want just to show the block spheres, at least for this puzzle, and the goal would be to get both block spheres pointing up, so to disentangle this thing. I think that's, and I like this puzzle because it basically confronts the user with the fact that they're going to have a block sphere that has a dot in the middle, and like a lot of people don't know this, right? Like when they get into the quantum stuff, they're like, oh yeah, that's a block sphere. Like, you know, any point in the surface of the sphere, it's a possible state, but like nobody tells you really straightforward that points in the middle are entangled points. Now, I don't know exactly why. That is a nuance of the mathematical representation in here, which is saying that basically this qubit alone doesn't know anything about itself other than what, that it's in this plane, in the y and x plane somehow. This is something to dig into, definitely, but you get what I mean, right? So you get what I'm telling, I guess. So basically what I want to do is I want to now say I want to configure the puzzle. So I want the Dojo mode enabled. I don't want to show the initial state, or maybe I want to show. Because if I show the initial state, then then it's going to be easier for the person to. I don't want the person to be able to change it, and I want them to think about it. So I want to show only the block sphere, and I want to disable the custom gates, and I want to have set all the quarter turns, and I want to have all these guys in here. That's cool. And I'm going to generate the link. copy the link, and then gonna test it out. So let's see if it works. Okay, so we have these, and now we have to figure out how to turn the 2 qubits, how to take both block spheres to the like pointing up. So, and we know an answer. So this is one way to do it. This is and then you basically, you know, sorry, you do this, you do that. So that's pointing up already. And there we go, both pointing up. That's the puzzle solved. It's not complicated, but it makes people think, I think. Okay, so we have the puzzle. So this is the puzzle. And then now the next thing I do before publishing the puzzle is I definitely make a bit.ly version of it, so I don't kind of go and, you know, have to manage this whole thing in here. So so I'll go ahead and create one, and I just have this thing here, which, you know, this integration works really well, so I just copy the link. And then I would just, you know, go to the Visual Studio and open the index and say, well, let's go. Level 6. So basically the goal here will be turn or make all the block spheres point up. That's kind of the goal of all the puzzles, or at least, you know, yeah. So I'm going to create, basically I'm going to say puzzle 6A, it's this guy here. That's it. And, well, basically more to come, right? So I just really wanted to walk you through the entire process at least once. And I mean, it's nothing fancy, right? It's just having I think it's everything about like having some good idea about like what would be useful for the user to, you know, to kind of make them think a little bit about how to solve the puzzle. Yeah, people can just, you know, you can just go ahead and run through things. Just, you know, speed run the thing and then figured it out. But that's not, you know, it's not the point. I think the effect that I'm trying to create in here is what I said. It's like, is to confront someone with things that they might not know. People might not know what the hell it means to have like a block sphere with the state in the middle, right? And so they'll first have to figure out how to get the state, like, how do I get the state somewhere else? Like, if, you know, if they first play with these gates here, like, there's no, like, to be honest, there's nothing is going to change if you play things, you know, after the gate, because they're entangled. I think nothing's going to change, right? Anyway, so if they, you know, someone goes ahead and they, you know, place the gate in here, you know, they'll kind of see, okay, it's not totally pointing up, right? That makes it a bit complicated because they are a bit small. But now they see that, like, that it's somewhat doable, and so once they try with this gate, they'll see that now it's totally pointing at the surface. Yeah. Okay, but that's, you get the idea, right? It's all about these little things. Like, you want to create these like little aha moments of, or confront people with things that they are not maybe necessarily aware of. And I know you might be aware of these, but, like, you know, not a lot of people know these. Or at least not a lot of the people who go through the first, you know, days and weeks and months of the learning process. And so that's the type of audience these puzzles are also designed for. Where was I here? And so git add, and I'll just git commit, and I'll say added puzzle 6A during a live stream. Totally improvised. Push, and then we can see the puzzle live. But basically now you're able to at least create puzzles without any you know, tweaking the URL and whatnot, because it's a bit tricky. I know, as I said, it doesn't work perfectly if you mess up with the links and the URLs. I'm definitely gonna be improving these, at least not to make it beautiful. I'm gonna leave it like that, but I want to make it at least less error prone, and kind of add some usability in terms of checking a lot of the boxes. I'm not going to make sure that you can solve it with the gates that you select. It's your own fault if it's not solvable with the gates that you offer. What I should also do, which I don't, is I should probably also not allow for gates to be made. What happens if I click here? I mean, maybe, why not? Why not? Anyway, I think this is pushed already now, so let's refresh this. There you go, Puzzle 6 is live. So now it's just time to tweet these. Tweeter. So just published Puzzle 6A during the live stream. That is about to finish. Here you go. No, I don't want people to go to the puzzle directly. I want traffic to the web page. Also, feel free to create your own puzzles using the brand new puzzle creator. And I am gonna basically, so this is in puzzles, puzzle creator. Go. Yay. Quantum computing, quantum intuition, whatever, quantum computing. Cool. Let's tweet these. Yeah. Do these links work well? I think I didn't mess anything up, right? Shouldn't have messed anything up. Hopefully. Puzzle is there, and the puzzle creator is here. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the. Sort of behind the scenes a little bit. I usually spend some more time creating the puzzles. Like this is, just an example of simple puzzles for the web page, like for those levels. And I do, I'm definitely going to put more thought into like 6B, C, and D, kind of make sure they become more complicated as we go. But like for the puzzles that are, that go to the show, as I said, I started with random stuff, but I'm also going to be, I usually would also spend more time actually thinking about the different ways, making the puzzle big and stuff like that. So it's not all that quick and easy, but it's really about like finding those things that you want the person to go through. It's almost like making up like a labyrinth or like a classical puzzle. To be honest, there's nothing really quantum to it other than just kind of thinking about like where is this person gonna get stuck maybe, and what's gonna help them solve the puzzle that will make it like, aha, okay, now I've actually learned something. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. It's been a bit of a longer episode or live stream, but yeah, I wanted to kind of share this. And now it's out there and you guys can use it. And if you want me to feature some of the puzzles, as I said, in the web page and the community section that I have to actually link somehow in the left menu here on the left column, let me know. I'll double check the puzzles myself by hand and I'll upload them here with the proper credits to you guys. And yeah, if you're watching these, you're not subscribed, I kind of feel awkward saying this. I don't say this really often. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to support the channel. I also have a Patreon account that you can go and basically support the whole quantum intuition project. And yeah, other than that, I think it's time to go. So bye bye, bye bye. Finishing the stream now, and